If you've been telling recruiters you know AI because you can write a prompt for an email, I want you to stop for a second. Because honestly, you're not showing them a skill, you're showing them why you're replaceable. I know that sounds harsh, and I know how much pressure you're under right now. The job market is shifting beneath our feet, and it feels like every time you look at a job description, the goalposts have moved again. I've seen this play out 100 times in my career. There's a new technology. Everyone rushes to put it on their resume, but only a tiny fraction actually understands how to make it move the needle for a business. Right now, 66% of leaders say they won't even consider hiring someone without AI skills. But here's the kicker. 80% of candidates are claiming they have those skills, yet only about 5% can actually explain a multi-agent workflow. When a recruiter looks at your resume, and remember, they're spending about 6.2 seconds on that first pass now, because AI is summarizing your profile for them. They aren't looking for a user. They're looking for someone who can solve the $100,000 problems, not the $20 tasks. If you're just using a chatbot to polish a paragraph, you're part of the 80% that looks exactly like everyone else. Let that number sit for a second. You don't want to be a user, you want to be an orchestrator. So, if the user label is a career dead end, what is it that the top 5% of candidates are doing to command those massive salary premiums? So let's talk about what's actually going on in those rooms where hiring decisions are made. Recruiters aren't looking for people who can talk to machines. They're looking for architects of intelligence, people who can redesign how a whole department breathes. We call this the shift from experimental AI, where you're just playing with prompts, to agentic AI. This is about building systems where multiple AI agents work together autonomously to finish a complex project while you direct the strategy. Think of it like the difference between a carpenter and an architect. The carpenter knows how to use the hammer, but the architect knows how the entire building stays standing. Have you seen this shift in your own workplace yet, where the busy work is starting to look different, or maybe it's just disappearing altogether? The demand for agentic AI skills has jumped by 142% in the last year alone. Why? Because companies have realized that one person with a well-orchestrated system is 4.8 times more productive than a traditional team. This isn't about doing the work anymore, it's about directing the intelligence that does it. It's a shift from task execution to system architecture. It sounds big, I know, but here's where it gets really interesting. You don't need a computer science degree to do this. You just need to change how you talk about your work. That sounds great in theory, but how do you actually say that in an interview without sounding like a buzzword generator? I want to give you something practical you can use today. When you're sitting across from a hiring manager, or even just updating your LinkedIn, the language you use is your leverage. Let's look at a before and after. A weak bullet point looks like this. I used AI to write articles. It's flat, it's a task. Now, here's how an orchestrator says it. I built a modular orchestration system that reduced editorial cycles by 70% while maintaining a 98% accuracy rate. Do you hear the difference? In the second one, you're talking about hallucination control, ROI tracking, and system integration. You're proving that you didn't just ask a bot for a favor. You built a machine that makes money. I recently saw a group of content writers who were stuck at the 40K mark. By learning to design these orchestration systems using tools like N8N, they transitioned into AI system architects. Their base pay? It jumped to $120. Advanced AI skills can add over $18,000 to your annual base salary immediately. But for specialized roles, we're seeing premiums as high as 56%. This is the part that changes everything. When you talk about systems, you stop being a cost on the balance sheet and you start being an investment. But what if you're looking at your current resume and realized you've never actually had AI in your job title before? This is a question I get all the time. How do I compete with people who have 10 years more experience than me? And honestly, this is the part most people get wrong. In 2026, the experience paradox is real. Data shows that 71% of managers actually prefer a less experienced candidate with strong AI skills over a senior professional who isn't AI literate. Think about that. Your ability to orchestrate AI can effectively delete a decade of someone else's seniority. There are only about 500 recognized experts globally for over 15,000 open AI orchestrator positions. The gap is massive. If you show up with a proof of orchestration portfolio, maybe just 3 working AI agents you've built using low-code tools like LangChain, you win. In this new world, a portfolio of 3 working agents beats 10 years of traditional experience every single time. It proves you can navigate the 2-year half-life of technical skills. You're showing them that you aren't just stable, you're adaptable. You're the one who can manage the agent failure and security governance that keeps CEOs up at night. We've covered the mindset and the scripts. But what is the very first thing you should do when you close this video? I don't want you to just watch this and feel better. I want you to act. Here's your 48-hour homework assignment. It's 3 steps. Step 1. Identify one repetitive life cycle in your department. Not just a task, but a whole process, like how a lead becomes a customer or how a report gets generated. Step 2. Map out a 3-agent workflow for it. Who gathers the data? Who analyzes it? Who formats the output? Step 3. Open your resume right now, go to your most recent role, and replace supported the team or managed projects with orchestrated and autonomous workflow. Use the formula, action verb plus orchestration system plus measurable ROI. AI Orchestrator roles are paying between $180K right now because they are the decision designers of the future. The market is moving faster than the job descriptions, and that is your greatest opportunity. You're not just looking for a job anymore, you're leading the charge. So what's the one thing you're going to change on your resume this week? I'm genuinely curious, let me know. This isn't easy, but the people who figure this out, they're the ones who aren't just surviving this shift, they're owning it. I'll see you in the next one.